Proportion is used in GCSE a lot. So let's have a look at the basic principles of what we should do to keep things in proportion. So, for example, you may have some currency conversion, say pounds to dollars. And $1 might be 0.8 pounds, for example. Okay, so to keep everything in proportion, oftentimes they'll say, okay, what is 4 pounds in dollars? And we have to work out what we multiplied by to get from 0.8 to 4 so that we can do the exact same thing on the other side. And it's not always obvious what this multiplier is. So if you're ever in doubt, we can divide these things. So if we do 4 divided by 0.8, we get 5. So this is 5 times bigger. So we do the same to the other side. That would be $5. Okay. So this is just one example of where we use this. Another example is something like you might have a machine making some sort of bolts is one that's been in the exam before. So 4 machines make 500 bolts in 5 hours, like this. And I would advise just doing this in a kind of just a ratio kind of idea, but I know people are scared about ratios, but really we're just kind of, it's just a way of setting it out. So the question might ask, okay, how long would it take 3 machines to make 1,000 bolts or whatever? We always try to scale down to 1. Okay, what would 1 machine take? Okay, so we're going to divide by 4, same number of bolts. What would happen to the time? Now, time is a strange one. Sometimes we have to take a step back and go, okay, if only 1 machine was doing this, it should take longer. So we're going to have to times by 4 in order to make the same number of bolts. So 1 machine working for 20 hours. And now it could be, how long would it take for 5 machines to work? So 5 machines, we're going to times by 5, which means the time taken would divide by 5. So still 500 bolts. 20 divided by 5 would be 4 hours. So 5 machines would take 4 hours to make 500 bolts. What about if it was 750 bolts? And same number of machines, so that hasn't changed. What would happen to the time? So here, we've increased the bolts that we need to make to 750. We might not know what that multiplier is. So 750 divided by 500 is 1.5. So it's times 1.5. Would the time taken to make those extra bolts be longer or shorter? Well, in this case, the time would increase. So times 1.5. 4 times 1.5 is 6. So proportion helps us with a lot of topics that we may not necessarily realize. So if you find yourself doing any type of scaling up or down, then try to use the proportion method. Okay.